Hello guys, and thanks a lot for joining us. This is part 2, game week 2 of the £500 build battle between myself, Quinny, and one and only John Nellis. John, thanks a lot for joining us for part 2, or game week 2. Thanks for coming on the channel. Good to see you. How have you been?
I've been good. Thanks very much for having me, Quinny. It's great being over here after having you over on my channel. Yeah, it was a great weekend on SoRare. It wasn't the best for me in terms of like normal. I think I've got greedy. I had a big, if anyone follows my channel, they know I had a very successful March.
Yeah.
So like this week I got Yannick Carrasco and I hit the ETH threshold and I'm still a wee bit like, oh, when really I need to realise like, that's a solid enough week. You have to be happy with winning the card and getting some ETH. So yeah, it was an exciting week on SoRare, and hopefully this weekend with the fixtures and stuff that are up ahead and the amount of games, hopefully it lives up to it as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the weekend. But we're here to go through our build battle from the game week we had last week. So last week on John's channel, we dropped episode 1. So anyone who's catching this for the first time, it'll be linked in the description below. There'll be a wee thing probably popping up the screen now. Make sure you check that out at some point. And part 3, of course, will be on John's. It's going to be a kind of alternating little thing. But the team we picked last week, and the team you rolled out with John last week, so for anyone who again who's catching this for the first time, we're both assuming we've got common goalkeepers. We ran with a budget. Again, check out episode 1, you'll get all the details, so just go and check that out. But John, your common goalkeeper did pretty well, 49 for Lafont.
Yeah, it came out at 26 and a half, so 26 I suppose after we take off the common kind of depreciation. What's the word, like negative multiplier?
Yeah,
for entering into D4, something like that. So yeah, 26 points is what I actually netted off him in terms of the actual competition, the global D4. Happy enough with that from the common goalkeeper, to be honest with you. All in all, I don't know, are we going to go through positions or do you want to just give the score?
Yeah, well, I've got on screen the little thing from Hoodwink. So at the back you had Dasa, you had Uribe and Sosa both in midfield. Uribe is captain, and then Ty was up front for you. So it's a really strong game week. All your guys played. You must have been chuffed at that.
Yeah, everyone played. That's the big thing. The big disappointment, I suppose, was Sosa, who actually only got like 3 minutes. But at least he played, because that's better than a DMP. It's infinitely better. I got all in. I actually put Sosa as the captain and penalised myself. I think it doesn't make much of a difference, though. Bottom line was, whoever was captain, I was just short of the 250. Just short. But I did make the 205, so I got 0.018 this week. That's what I won. And I mean, I was talking to you about this before off air, Quinny, the Leonard Thye, he's 3 goals in his last 2 games now. And based on when I bought him, his price is up at decent, like 0.03, 0.02, something like that. So you're talking 30 or 40 quid there. So in terms of growing the gallery, it mightn't be a bad time to think about selling. I'm not going to. I'm going to give him one more fixture, but coming up towards the end of the European leagues, that's great for his price movement in terms of me moving into the MLS in Asia towards the end of this series.
Oh, of course, 100%. And I know it's like, it may not sound much to anyone sitting at home, but that is like still 30. It's not just 30 or 40 pounds, but it's about 30 or 40%, because these guys, the actual price theoretically we're picking them up for, that appreciation is amazing in such a short period of time, and it just shows you form and being competitive in SO5, hitting those scores, how valuable it can be. I was quite similar to you. My common goalkeeper hit 51 points, which is around about kind of where your Lafont was, has been like 49, which I was really chuffed about. I had Jack Hendry doing pretty well, which I was quite excited about. Rob Schuss and De La Torre both started. The actual Heracles player that I actually own, the super rare that I had in D3, didn't even make the matchday squad. So, but the hypothetical guys, they managed to play, so that was brilliant for me, But he didn't really score that great for me, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth. Mahi as well, he was involved in a goal fest in his game, didn't get involved in anything coincidentally, and I fell just short. The points total Hoodwink's got here, I think there's been a wee bit of an Opta adjustment or whatever since then, but when I've redone the scores and everything and worked it out, with adding on the multipliers and the common things that John has done as well, I've came in just a wee bit squeakier than the 214 you see there. It's came just in at 206. It's been so tight. But again, week 1, John, when you're coming in with a budget and you're just trying to pick up cards really quickly, I think for us both, we're both quite disappointed by how the actual players individually did, in terms of Sosa's minutes and this one and that one, and with my guys. But to be picking up 0.01, kind of like what you're chatting about with your own gallery, being disappointed with that in week 1 is not a bad place to be starting off.
Absolutely. I think for me, Leonard Thye was the standout with the points, because we're adding on 5% to all the players, assuming that this season's cards.
Yeah.
We're giving ourselves that because everyone would have that, and that's what we're trying to do. We're not going to go like get 6% next week, 7% the week after, or up it. We're just 5% is the percentage we're getting on these cards.
Yeah.
So, and just to reiterate to people, we haven't actually bought them, so we do have to kind of do this manually. We're hypothetically trying to track what we would do if we were beginners starting off with 500 quid. That's what this series is about. Obviously, me and Quinny are not beginners with just a 500 quid gallery, so we're not going to block up our D4 teams that we're trying to shoot for the stars with a smaller sort of starting squad, but we're hypothetically tracking it. And I think a 0.01 win off the first week is great going. And again, Quinny, that 0.01 this week, and if we get it the week after and the week after, if you can hit that a few weeks in a row, that's when you can start upgrading players and moving players about. And over time, this squad becomes competitive in D4, might win a few cards down the line, and that's the whole journey. If you are starting on a budget, SoRare needs to be so that you can start on a budget and work your way up and grow. And I think this week anyway is quite exciting in terms of showing that is possible. And people are doing it on much lower budgets than we started with. I've seen people giving us teams that they've made with 250 quid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, this actually came to us, this little thing that we've got on screen, came to us from Hoodwink, and he's actually done exactly that. He's put us to shame.
Yeah.
He picked up a team for much less than what we did, hypothetically, and he's smashed the 250 barrier, picked up the 0.02. So, guys, when you're picking up this video, if you're finding it on Twitter, for the next game week, interact with it, and let us know the teams you've built, how cheap did you build them, how well did you do, and we'll feature the best ones in the videos as we run this series through, because it's about showing and engaging, about getting your first team together, getting stuck in, churning that ETH, winning the first couple of cards and getting involved in the market. So it's always great when people come on the thread, John, and just make us look like, absolute amateurs.
Absolutely.
So bring it on, keep it coming, guys. And, the best ones, we'll feature them and talk about it, no problem at all. And right, okay. So
action.
Sorry. So the game week coming up, John, how is your guys looking? How's your team looking?
Yeah, so for the game week coming up, I think I'm kind of optimistic, to be honest with you. Picking a good captain, I think, is key here. And we've got Albin Lafont. Nonce don't keep clean sheets ever, really. And in terms of the upcoming fixture, they are away to Rennes. Now, Rennes are a bit of a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get with them. So maybe a 45 score could happen again, net me 25 points. Happy enough to throw that on top. But it would be amazing if there was a clean sheet or a penalty save or something crazy. We have to dream. In defence there, Dasa is up against Den Haag at home. So look hopeful of a clean sheet.
Yeah.
It could be a 60-70 pointer quite feasibly there. If not, hopefully it keeps up, a wee 45-50 score. That wouldn't be the end of the world, but hopeful for a clean sheet. My captain of the week is Mateus Uribe of Porto. They are away to Tondela. Last time he played them, he got a 70 pointer. So hoping he can replicate that. He's a 90-minute man, week in, week out. Just hoping that he gets the 90 minutes, that maybe there's a goal involvement there. And we're talking 70 points a game. If there's more, wonderful. That's the dream.
Yeah.
Next up, Jose Souza, the 35-year-old who was rotated and got me 3 minutes last week. Hopefully he's got enough rest in those legs. Hopefully there's no injuries. Hopefully there's nothing bigger at play here. I haven't really researched them, I'll be honest. But they're at home to Gaziantep, and I'm hoping that he can get on the score sheet or do something. Even just playing and scoring me 45 points is fine.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Leonard Thai up top. 3 goals in his last 2 games against Alkmaar, and I'm pretty sure I looked into it, and their fixtures are normally quite exciting. I think the last time they played, there was 8 goals, 4 each. The time before that, Sparta Rotterdam actually beat Alkmaar 3-0. So I kind of had Leonard Thai. When you look at it, you're like, oh, they're against Alkmaar. Like that's a good squad. That's a good team. But you were sort of saying to me, Quinny, this could be a good fixture for him in terms of on the counter attack. He could get into goals again. So look, I don't know what to expect there. This could be an out 32 pointer, or it could be a 90 score. It's just one of those.
Yeah.
But that's my week. Captain in Uribe. I'm hoping that I'm going to hit the 250 threshold at least this week.
Totally. Well, that sounds absolutely great, and yeah, I've got big faith in some of those guys. I hope that they don't outscore my lot. Right enough. I've got my striker. You're talking about how good your striker could do. I'm not as optimistic about mine. Mahi is away or at home to Feyenoord, so I don't think they're going to have too much of the ball. They're in good form. They're trying to get in Europe, so we're living hope. My midfield boys, I'm actually going to captain one of them this week, but it's going to be through choice rather than as the lowest scoring player on the team from last week. So I'm going to be captaining my boy Shufs. They've got a difficult game with Willem 2, but Willem 2 and Heracles are both these types of teams that go end to end in the Eredivisie. So combative midfielders that will tackle and pass and shoot and do all those things. I'm hoping he can score me a tidy score for a safe captain bonus. So I'm not kind of going for a high, I'm going for a safe. I can get a decent multiplier out of him. And then Hendry has got Beershoot. Now, Beershoot normally get a lot of goals, but Hendry can get some goals too. I don't think Beershoot are that great at the back, or the goalkeepers are that great scoring either. So quite chuffed with that. And Lopez, if he can get an R50 against Bologna the weekend, I'll be happy with that. So I think we count that as a 1-0 score to you for the moment, John. You did outscore me on this game week. We both did hit 0.1s, but you did outscore me. So I think that's a 1-0 to you after game week 1. Game week 2, let's see if I can pull it back.
Yeah, we asked on the first episode. We asked for some forfeits and some ideas. We didn't really come up with an idea.
Maybe the guys at home have lost their imagination. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. If anyone can let us know, we need to decide on that soon. I think I don't know if it's going to be some sort of a forfeit actually in terms of just embarrassing yourself, or if it's going to be more of a financial thing or a SoRare thing. I don't know, Queenie. We'll have to have a think for next episode.
Open a suggestion, but we all need to, get our heads together if we're not getting any suggestions coming to us to inspire us towards something at least. Anything you're thinking, drop in the comment section down below.
The funnier the better. The funnier the better.
The funnier the better. Yeah, okay. I'll go with that.
Yeah, because
it's easy for you to say you're 1-0 up.
1-0 up. 1-0 up. Looking solid into next week. We'll see. But yeah, I suppose next week it's going to be over on my channel, and the week after yours, as you said, it's alternating. So yeah, I hope people are enjoying it, and I hope people are following along, and I hope a few new beginners or sort of people who've been on a wee bit are maybe following along with a similar budget.
Yeah, absolutely. So game week 3, guys, we'll be joining John Cena on John's channel for that. Anyone who has missed the first part, that'll be linked down below for you. Make sure next week as well, because one of the things John's kind of touched on it earlier as well, but as this develops, we will be reenacting, of course, being an actual manager in the gallery. We've both picked up the threshold this week. We had a wee bit of surplus from our balance in episode 1, and as that continues, we'll start making some theoretical trades and try and upgrade the gallery and keep it current for you. Hope you enjoyed this, John. Thanks a lot for joining us on the channel. It means a lot, mate.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure for me, buddy. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
It's the time.